Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. The rest of the Eric team are actually outside, so it's just me for now. Okay, so before... Oh, and the clicker. We need the clicker. Okay, right, there we go. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining us today. I think probably a lot of you have come from far and wide across London, maybe even outside of London. I myself have come from Brighton. So... Oh, exactly. Okay, so I want to say, before I do any introductions, I want to say a massive thank you to the Roundhouse. Melissa, great timing. Yes, round of applause. Oh my God, it was like we'd orchestrated that. Melissa and the team have very, very kindly, very graciously given us this space to be able to share the data with you guys today. So it's all thanks to her and the team. The Roundhouse Works is brand new. It's less than 3 months old. Is that what you said earlier? Yeah. Okay, so it is really, really new. It's very, very relevant to what we're talking about today. Young people, careers, creative industries. She's going to be coming on stage later to give a little synopsis as to why this building exists, what the purpose of it is. So I highly recommend having a good old listen, because there's lots of ways for you guys to get involved in the building as well. And she's also going to be doing tours of the whole building afterwards from 11 onwards when we've got the networking. So if anyone does want to have a big look at all the different rooms, which will probably take a while because it's quite big, then please do stick around for that too. Okay, and now I will do the introductions. Everyone watching online as well, I hope you can all see Phoebe's on the Q&A, so if anyone can't see, if there are any tech issues, just let her know, she'll get back to you. Okay, big breath. Right, okay, I'm Sam. I'm one of the co-founders of Eric. For those that don't know, Eric is a free-to-use careers app for young people who want to get into the creative industries. My lovely co-founder, over there, manning the door, May. Oh, hello, welcome. Do take a seat. May, my co-founder, best friend of 24 years now. Oh my God. Oh, I know. And general light of my life. She is also coming on stage later after I've finished speaking. She is going to be taking you through the juicy bit of the event, the actual data, the bit that you're all here to see. And then we also have the other half of the Eric team. I've already introduced Phoebe, who's on the Q&A. We have Amber as well, who they are kind of our in-house Gen Z experts. They are in control of everything that goes on the app. They help all of the businesses who put stuff on the app get better at marketing their opportunities to all the young people, all of our users. So they're going to be coming on stage to talk about tips and tricks, exactly how you guys might be able to market your opportunities better too. Okay, so, I mean, that's the really good stuff. You probably just want me to finish talking now and just hand over the mic. But unfortunately, I'm going to do a bit more of an intro. Okay, so why are we all here today? There are over 500 organisations that signed up to this event, which is crazy. We have organisations from all the 16 creative industries, all over the UK. If there is anyone watching online who is from outside of the UK, do let us know. Then we can say it's an international event, which would be crazy. Thanks, Melissa. Good laugh. Okay, so why are we all here today, though? What ties all of these 500 organisations together? Well, we all have one thing in common. We are all trying to talk to young people about careers in the creative industries. You probably already guessed that. Okay, there are lots of different types of organisations that are trying to do that. I think it's very important as well to tell you that we're not all in the same category. There tend to be 4 categories of companies that we are talking, that are trying to talk to trying to talk to young people about careers in the creative industries. So first up, we have, I think we've got an example, May, clicker. Yes, okay, amazing. And the next slide, please, Maz. Fantastic. 4 different types of organisations. We've got the charities and creative hubs. Who's here from a charity and creative hub? Woo! Thank you very much. Okay, you guys are trying to get your careers, initiatives, programmes and schemes in front of more young people who need extra support. Then we have the creative employers. Yeah? Anyone? Okay, fantastic. Thanks, guys. Okay, you guys are trying to get your entry-level opportunities, your internships, your apprenticeships, stuff like that, entry-level jobs maybe, in front of a more diverse cohort of young people. We've got creative schools and universities. I know that there's loads watching online. Yes? Amazing. Fantastic. I love this category because I work with you guys all the time on a daily basis. So you are trying to give better careers guidance to your young people, your students, about careers in the creative industries. And then finally, we've got the government, the funding institutions, the people who can distribute the money, okay? So we have, these people are trying to translate messages from top level all the way down to the future workforce, the young people on the ground, so that we can future-proof the creative industries. So these are the different reasons that all of these organisations are trying to talk to young people about careers in the creative industries. That's why we're all tied together. And this is why we love doing what we do. This is why May and I cannot, for the life of us, give up. Eric, we're going to be doing this till I die. Because everyone is putting so much effort into championing creative careers to young people. It is honestly the most special thing about our sector. I love how many people are trying to make a wider, more accessible doorway to young people that previously would never have considered themselves able to be part of the creative industries. I love how many people are trying to educate people on how big the creative industries is, how many jobs we have available, how future-proof we actually are. And I love how many people are putting time, effort, and money into doing this. We are really putting our money where our mouths are. And that is what makes our sector so special. But, I'm sure you felt a but coming there, guys, but we are all doing this with really no idea of what best practice looks like. Everything that we fund, every initiative that we create, every message that we craft, every daily decision that we make when we're trying to outreach better to young people, to talk to them about the things that we want to say, we're really doing it with no idea if what we're doing is the best way of doing it. We have so many unanswered, often unasked questions about whether we're doing it the right way, whether we are spending our time, money, and energy as efficiently as we possibly can, whether the young people are getting the most out of what we're putting out there. Are we wasting lots of resources? Do come in. No, don't worry. Are we wasting loads of resources, putting things out there that young people don't even want? Please do. Please do 1 and 3. No, don't be shy. Are we, using the wrong terminologies that young people don't even understand? Are we, do we even know what different demographics think of the different creative industries? There are so many details that we really don't have the answers to, and we probably haven't even thought of asking those questions often. The list of questions just goes on and on and on. And we need those answers because we want to all do a better job of outreaching to young people, talking to them about careers in the creative industries. May and I know that this is the case because we have actually been on your side of the table. We were an organisation that was creating initiatives to try and help young people understand more about careers in the creative industries. Does anyone know about Eric Festival? Yeah, great. Okay, amazing. So this is the business that May and I used to run. This was the first iteration of Eric. We used to run Eric Festivals. We ran, for those that don't know, by the way, it was an alternative careers fair series for 16 to 25-year-olds who wanted to learn about the creative industries. We ran Eric Festivals for nearly 10 years. Over the course of those 10 years, or nearly 10 years, we began to realise how many other organisations were doing what we were trying to do. There were so many people trying to help young people get into the creative industries. It is amazing. Thousands of organisations. I mean, we've had over 500 sign up to this event alone. Thousands of organisations trying to do all of this amazing stuff. But we also began to realise how fragmented we all are. We were all kind of existing in our little echo chambers. No one's really talking to each other enough. No one's really sharing insights with each other. No one's really understanding what best practice is, especially when it comes to cross-industry collaboration as well, cross-pollination. And we believe at Eric that this is the core of the issue when it comes to our workforce. We're all doing the same thing. The fragmentation is the thing that is holding us back. We should be collaborating, we should be learning from each other, we should be pooling data so that we can understand what's working, what's going down well, what's going down badly, where the gaps are, all of these different questions that I listed earlier that we need to know the answers to. We need to understand the answers to the deeper questions as well, the behavioural stuff. We need the sector-wide insights so that we can actually understand what we're doing better. And only then can we really elevate and enhance the conversations that we're trying to have with young people. So that is why we're here today. Okay, May and I have found a better way of doing it, guys. Woo, yeah, thank God. Okay, so For the last 12 months, we have been collecting data from our 35,000 users on the ERIC app. Data collected every single second of every single minute of every single day. We have young people using the app all the time, and they're telling us exactly what they like, exactly which industries they're most interested in, exactly what types of initiatives they're most curious about, what they like to click on, what terminologies they're curious about. All of these things that we should have known the answer to by now, but we still don't. In fact, the reason that we chose to do the event today is because, by our calculations, today is the day we have collected the 1 millionth data point. That is the kind of volume of information that we have never had access to before. It's the kind of volume of information that will give us a good bird's eye view of what on earth is happening across all of the 16 creative industries, and we can learn from each other. We can collectively get better at reaching young people, because we need that feedback loop. If we don't have that feedback loop, then we cannot innovate, we cannot improve. And we want to share all of it with you. This is the first of many events that we're going to be doing. Every 3 months, we're planning on hosting an event. We're planning on revealing new layers of the data. We're planning on answering questions that we haven't even thought of yet. There's going to be loads of stuff to learn. It's going to be mad. And we are delighted that you guys are here for the journey as well. We hope that this is not the last time that we see you. We hope that you are coming back next event, event after that, event after that. Please bring your friends. We want everyone to get better collectively. And now I'm going to stop talking, because I'm going to hand over to May, who is going to give you the data.
Thank you, Sam. Right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. This is an incredible turnout. We need to get a bigger venue next time. So before I get into the juicy data that you guys are all here for, I'm just going to tell you a bit more about what the ERIC app is and how we collect the data. So, as Sam kind of said, we are a signposting app, so we connect young people to opportunities across the creative industries. We today have over 35,000 users using the app, and here is just a kind of overview of some of those the demographic of users that we have, so as you can see, incredibly diverse. To date, we have posted 7,458 opportunities on the app, which is, I think, an impressive number. And when I say opportunities, what does that actually mean? So opportunities is things that help young people at the beginning stages of their career. So things like internships, events, apprenticeships, work experience, networking, junior roles, and so much more. But I think what we are really, really excited to share with you today is that it's actually working. So 90% of our users have said that ERIC has actually connected them to an opportunity which has helped them progress their career. 85% of ERIC's partners have said that we've helped them reach their target audiences. And young people love the app so much that they're actually coming back on average 5 times a month and up to 20 minutes per session. And just last month, we were also featured on the App Store, which was a really proud moment for the team. And again, we've had such incredible kind of feedback and success stories. So how do we actually collect the data? So when a young person signs up to the app, they tell us a bit more about who they are. So their background, so their age, their pronouns, what industries they're interested in, their ethnicity. They then come onto the app and then they get shown a feed very similar to Instagram. And there they can, we're able to track what their activities are. So again, like Sam said, we can see what opportunities they're viewing. We can see what events they're clicking. We can see what they're saving. We can even see what keywords they're searching for. And we can even see what companies they're following. So in terms of the engagement metrics that we look at, there's 4 metrics that we look at. So view, click, save, and clap. So view is when someone sees an opportunity on the feed and then they choose to view more. choose to see more of it. And then click is when they then click to see the opportunity where its original link is. So they actually get taken off the app, and then that's where they can go apply. Save is obviously saving something for later. And then clap means that they really love that opportunity, so they want to see more of those opportunities. So yeah, these are the kind of key metrics that we'll kind of mention later. So just before I get into the data, there's just a couple of things that we wanted to point out. So number one is that GDPR. So young people do have a choice when it comes to giving us their data. Also, all of the data that we're going to share today is aggregated and anonymized, so we cannot link it to an individual. Second is that we all have different aims, we all have different ambitions, so we're all going to interpret the data in ways. Third is that the insights are all from the ERIC app database, so even though it is, a good sample size, it doesn't represent the entire UK population, 16 to 25-year-old population. Fourth is that we have taken a very broad brush when categorizing industries. So we definitely know that we aren't mentioning some industries. Architecture, for example, isn't included just because of its specialist nature. But we will look to kind of going into more nuanced industry insights as we grow. And then lastly, questions. Do come find us afterwards and we can answer more questions that you may have. Okay, so let's get into the insights. So what we're about to share is a glimpse into how young people connect with your industries and your opportunities. Plus, we're going to dig into some of their behaviors and also their mindsets. So ultimately, you guys can improve your outreach strategies. So we split the insights into 3 sections: industries, opportunities, and behavioral. So, industry data, we're going to start with that one. Okay, so this is basically a league table of the most popular industries selected by young people when they sign up to the app. So this is before they've even seen any opportunities. And I bet many of you are already eyeing up your industry. So it'd be really interesting to know, hands up, who expected, is this where you expected your industry to be? Hands up. Oh, yes, okay. 4 or 5, okay. And then how many of you were really surprised? Oh, more people were surprised. Okay, so those online, more people were surprised than expected. So the next slide here actually shows you what percentage of users selected those industries. So as we can see, film and TV, 50% of our users selected film and TV, whereas 14% of our users selected VFX and animation. So that is quite a large difference there, even though we all know that those industries are actually very directly linked together. So I think what's interesting here is that understanding the popularity of your industry is really important, and it should play into your outreach strategies. How young people rank each creative industry independently is also really important. And it's a reminder that we can't assume that everyone is interested in your industry. So even though they might be interested in the whole of the creative industries, they might not know actually about your specific industry. There's also a lot of evidence to suggest that industry nuances and also terminology could also play a part in young people not knowing about your industry. So for example, in a recent report by ERIC and the BFI, we discovered that young people didn't know what VFX was. They did know what visual effects was or special effects was when we spelled it out. So is the VFX industry actually kind of shooting themselves in the foot by using an acronym? So there's lots of work we need to still do across the industry, and so I think it will be really interesting to see if that league table does shift over time. Okay, so let's delve deeper into our industry data. So does the league table change when we consider underrepresented groups? So users who have a disability, for example, those pronoun splits, for example, or those users who have or had free school meals. Well, we have got those insights for you. But just before I go into it, there is going to be a lot of kind of information in these next few slides, just to be aware. So what we've done is we've just highlighted which industries have moved up and which industries have moved down by minimum 3 places. So blue is up, red is down. And then this is the original league table, which we showed you earlier. So it's in comparison to that. Okay, so starting with ethnic groups, which I want to emphasize the importance of kind of approaching this topic sensitively. So we have categorized this in accordance with the government census. So what is immediately apparent is that preferences change across all ethnic groups. Fashion is now 4th on the list for Black British, Caribbean or African groups. Fashion has also moved up here for other ethnic groups. That also includes the Arab community. And we can also see that games and VFX and animation has also no longer at the bottom. It's increased for Asian and Asian British. And I think what's interesting is that even though fashion and games are popular within those ethnic groups, this doesn't necessarily result in a more diverse workplace. So, for example, the latest game census, only 10% of people working in games are Black, Asian, or minority ethnic. The fashion industry has recently admitted that its progress has been slow in increasing ethnic diversity. So the key takeaway here is that just because your industry is a popular industry, and many creative industries are in terms of consumer, it doesn't mean that young people want to work in your industry. So we do need to make more of an effort in educating young people about what career options do exist, and partners like Eric can help you do that. Okay, so next is pronouns. So I think the main point here is that actually it's not really surprising. So if we look at she, her pronouns, fashion, journalism, arts is kind of at the top, more popular, which makes sense, right? You know, more women are fashion enthusiasts. 83% of fashion designers identify as women, which is the most recognized role by young people. And also 40% of journalists are women. Conversely, he, him, games, VFX, music are more popular, which again, this trend makes sense. Majority of gamers are male. 70% of people working in the games industry are male. 65% who work in VFX are male. And 80% of artists that are signed to UK record labels are male. So young people by default have actually already developed industry stereotypes, and by the age of 16. So therefore, it is really clear that we need to start outreaching and stepping in before those perceptions have been created. Otherwise, you know, it is going to be too late, and we are going to find ourselves stuck in the same position that we are in, still struggling to kind of make changes. Okay, so now looking at underrepresented groups. So looking at users with a disability, those part of the LGBTQIA plus community, and then also those users who have said that they have had free school meals. So here, actually, there isn't a particularly significant difference, but film and TV is strong at the top. It's number one across every single one. And so this is something that we need to recognize, and we also need to applaud the industry, because I know that the film and TV sector has been doing a lot, is doing a lot in terms of raising awareness of careers in film and TV. And so they are doing some really, really good work that it is clearly paying off. So I think all of us can learn from the film and TV industry. I think it's essential for us to learn from each other and also share best practices. So as we kind of wrap up the end of the industry insights, just to recap. So number one, again, the popularity of your industry should play into your outreach strategy. So you can have a look at the chart after the event just to make sure you do know where your popularity, your industry sits. Two is that being a popular industry doesn't mean that young people want to get into your industry, or they don't understand what career paths they're in there. Third is that we need to start changing the perception of industries before it's too late. So get in there earlier, much earlier than you guys probably think. And lastly, it's essential to learn from each other and share best practices. Okay, so moving on, because we've got lots more insights. So opportunity insights is up next. Okay, so this league table is the most engaged type of opportunities. So this is measured by click-through rate, which is the ratio of clicks to views. And at the top of the list, we can see internships. So internships have a click-through rate of 55%, which means that for every internship on our app, an average of 55% of people then click through to apply. Free courses, training schemes kind of closely follow, still in the high 50s. And then at the bottom, we have open calls and networking, which is around 20% mark. But it is still worth kind of mentioning that that is still very, very high, because on average, an email marketing click-through rate is between 3 and 5%. But what we really wanted to focus your attention on is apprenticeships. So number 7 on the list. We basically know that the creative industries is investing a lot of time and effort and resources into apprenticeship programs. However, it's really clear that apprenticeships are still not yet perceived the same as internships or training schemes, even though they are basically a combination of the two. So internships, you do gain experience, you also get training, and you get paid. So here, I think we are still grappling with a brand awareness or terminology challenge. Maybe we are too late to change the perception of legacy terms such as apprenticeships. And so maybe a thought is that, should we just abandon some terms like apprenticeships? And maybe that would actually increase engagement. So yeah, just a thought on that one. The next slide here shows which industries promoted the most opportunities. Again, marking it in kind of colours if there were any changes from the original league table. And here, there isn't really much difference. The top industries are still at the top. So the obvious key takeaway here is that the more opportunities you do push out, it does increase kind of industry attraction. So hopefully this does motivate a lot of you who are doing some amazing initiatives and opportunities. It is working, so keep going, basically. So now this one is actually one of my favorite insights, because here what we're looking at is which industry had the highest engagement across all of their opportunities. So here, the league table has completely shifted. So basically, every industry has moved up or down. And so why is this the case? Why are there some of these opportunities more engaged than others? Well, I am now excited and delighted to introduce you to Amber and Phoebe, who are our Gen Z engagement experts, who are going to just share why some opportunities perform better than others.
everyone.
Hi. I think so. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. So I'm Phoebe, as mentioned, and this is Amber, and we're the engagement experts heading up the content team at Eric. So what do we actually do? We spend our days scouting the most interesting opportunities on the internet, and then we put them onto the app, tracking how well opportunities do, and supporting our partners with copy and imagery, just to ensure that their opportunities resonate with the Gen Z demographic.
We've been in the same shoes as our Gen Z app users, applying for roles in the creative industries. We know what people are looking for and what engages them best because we are your audience.
So what we're actually going to take you through today, we've analysed all of the opportunities on the app and pulled together a top 100 of the most viewed of all time. We've also pulled together a league table of most viewed, most clicked, most saved, and most clapped. So we've got some insights about these popular opportunities to share with you and the common themes as to why they did so well on the app.
So let's start with that top 100. Share some key takeaways and standout stats. 36% of these had phrases first steps, get into, get experience, or train, or variations of these in their titles. All of them are really strongly implying that young people, they're open to young people with minimal skills and experience. These are truly entry-level opportunities. And in a recent study, it was also said that 74% of Gen Zers value training and skills development that allows them to progress and climb the pay scale, which is why these have all done so well. Your typical industries, film and TV, advertising, marketing, PR, and digital media were the strongest industries by a mile. And 33% of the top 100 were internships, which is actually more than 20% more popular than the following categories, which were courses and events in joint place with just 11%. Also, a quarter of these top 100 were fully remote. Young people, probably unsurprisingly, love free stuff. So 12% of these had the word free in their title, and also unsurprisingly, 30% had a big company name in their title, but 70% didn't, so if you are a smaller company, there's no stress there.
And then we're now going to look at the opportunities on a more granular level. So a series of top fives, which are the most viewed, most clicked, most saved, and most clapped.
So we'll start with the most viewed. What is this? This is basically a league table of the most eye-catching opportunities that do such a good job with their imagery and titles that people stop on the app and choose to view more. Carrying on with the themes of things that imply minimal skills or experience needed, 4 out of 5 of these opportunities contain the words experience or train. 3 of them are remote, and 1 of them is UK-wide, so you're automatically reaching a larger audience. They're also all do what they say on the tin opportunities. There's no faff, there's no nonsense, you know exactly what you're gonna get.
So now we have the top 5 most clicked, which is like the highest percentage of click-through rate. So these are the ones that really delivered what they promised with the title and the synopsis. So again, these are all very entry-level opportunities. It's all about making your first connections, getting financial support, learning the basics, so all the things that Gen Z actually need to get their career started. Interestingly, only one of these is actually from a big-name brand, number 4 on the list. And it's quite possibly only because of the colossal salary. There's actually £33,000 salary for a trainee role, which is just incredible. And it shows that it's actually possible to get excellent results, even if you're a lesser-known brand, just as long as you're marketing it right and in front of the right audience. 4 out of 5 of these opportunities have extremely concise copy as well. And we all know that Gen Z have short attention spans, I think, with the TikTok generation. So, yeah. And then the first 2 of these opportunities are actually designed for people who face extreme barriers to the creative industries. And there's clarity on who that's aimed at in the title, as well as no requirements for any existing experience. So we're not surprised that click-through rate is really high. The PR one at number 5, I think it kind of snuck in there. It did surprise us. But we've definitely seen a trend for free online courses, and these tend to do super well on the app, just because our community love to upskill themselves in their own time, at their own pace.
Moving on to the most saved. Remember here that 100% of our users are viewing these opportunities on their phone. And as 3 out of these 5 had more complex application processes, you can't expect people to apply for your opportunity as soon as they see it. If you do make your application long and arduous, people are a lot less likely to apply, even if they love an opportunity, which is why they've saved it. On the other hand, some of these saved ops also have really long or rolling deadlines, which is great because they're easy, accessible, people can apply in their own time without any pressure.
And now moving on to most clapped. And this is such an interesting category because it's always full of unexpected opportunities. The themes that we've drawn from these opportunities is that, on the whole, young people clap for just 3 reasons. So the first one is unusual and unique opportunities that they find quirky, like the manga one at number 1. Opportunities that broaden their horizons as well, so shows them new roles that they didn't even know existed, like the research analyst role at number 2. And then aspirational ops, so things that they might not think that they have the skills to apply for right now, but they see these as kind of life goal opportunities. So maybe it's like a big name brand that they've always wanted to work for.
And finally, for this section, at the end of August, we actually installed the search bar monitor. We are now able to see what young people are searching for, keywords or other clues that will be able to help us improve their experience. In the last month, we've had 3,068 searches, and this is a list of the top 20 most searched words. The list is actually over 1,000 search terms long, but this will give you the gist of what's on it. So we have lots of locations, places like Derby and Aberdeen, lots of company names like Vivian Westwood and Barbican, lots of specific types of roles like 3D and sewing, and also lots of spelling mistakes. But if you do want your app to be seen, it's worth thinking about how you can piggyback on top of other popular industries or those keywords. For example, VFX industry folks, you might think about mentioning film or advertising since you're kind of adjacent to those industries, and you'll come up higher in the search terms when young people are looking for those opportunities. And that is it from us. There is so much data that we collect from the app that we could probably go on forever, but we don't have all day, so.
And we just hope that this has given you some food for thought about the behaviour and mindset of Gen Zers when they're looking for creative career opportunities. And if any of this has highlighted any gaps in your marketing or outreach strategies, then don't worry. If you become a partner of the ERIC app, we can help with copy and imagery, so don't stress about that. And we're now going to hand you back over to May to talk to you about behavioural data. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was so good. That was so good. Okay, so sadly, we've now reached the last and final section of the insights. And now we're going to look at behavioural trends. So we're just going to do some quick fire trends that many of you might be interested in, because if you are in charge of social media, newsletters, you've got an internship maybe you're promoting, this is going to be relevant for you guys. So what is the best day to outreach to young people? Well, our data says Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the most popular day that young people are looking for career opportunities, whereas Saturday is the least active day. So weekends, it's good news for all of us. We can all lie in on the weekends. Okay, number 2 is, what is the best time of day? 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. are the most active times that people are on the app. And then the least active times are 8 a.m., 5 p.m., and 3 a.m. So again, great for the schedules. We don't need to be up at 3 a.m. And then finally, what is the best time of year for us to outreach young people? Oh, this one's a bit more animated. Okay, so this one was really interesting, actually, because when we crunched the data, there was a kind of theme that young people were using the app more in holiday time. So Christmas, Easter, summer holidays, they were more active, which for us is really, really exciting at ERIC, because we have basically proved that ERIC is resonating so much with young people that they are using it outside of the classrooms and they're actually thinking about their careers in their own time. So yeah, that one was a really kind of enlightening insight for us. But now, that's it basically. Guys, we've done the insights. That was the final insights. But hopefully by now, we've proven that young people want to use the app. We've proven that we can signpost young people to your opportunities. And most importantly, we've proven, hopefully, that we are collecting some important data. This is just a snippet as well of some of the insights that we have. So we're really looking forward to kind of sharing more with you guys in the future. So yes, thanks so much for listening. I'm going to hand you back to Sam.
Thank you very much, May. Well, I hope that everyone has taken at least something away from all of that stuff that everyone else shared, to be able to go to colleagues or bosses or even trade bodies to go and lobby for the agenda of more outreach for young people, please, to young people. Let's try and get more young people into the creative industries. Because this data is hugely important. It is incredibly important. Sorry, you're right, mate. It is incredibly important because it gives us a feedback loop to work with, a continuous feedback loop that we have never had access to before in our sector. We can keep looking at what's working. Every single day we can keep sharing stuff with you, things that will help us all do our jobs better. We can ask questions now, is what we're putting out there useful? Is it relevant? Is it actually working? I'm going to quickly paint a vision, our vision for you, of why we think this data is so important and where we think it can lead us, why we think this is so game-changing for every single person in this room, everyone watching online, everyone who's going to be watching on catch-up as well later. So, the vision, okay. We finally have this continuous feedback loop to work with. Because we haven't had access to that before, we have got ourselves into a bit of a sticky situation in the creative industries, okay? I'm going to tell you why. We've got some statistics here. Enrollment in creative GCSEs has dropped by 40% in the last 13 years. 75% of young people would quite like a job in the creative industries, but they have absolutely no idea how to go about it, and that is what is holding them back. 42% of creative industries employers say that they have a critical skills gap issue. And finally, this is the maddest stat, I think, out of all of them. Creative roles represent a third of the government's shortage occupation list. Yet, we need 2.5 million new workers in the creative industries over the next decade. How? Somebody please tell me how we're meant to do that if all of these keep rising. In the words of a young person, make it make sense. It's my favourite line of the whole thing. Thanks, guys. Melissa, I love your laugh. She's always championing me. Okay, so those statistics are the sticky situation that I was referring to. The future of the creative industries is slipping away from us. We are sleepwalking into a nightmare at this point. We have allowed ourselves to be underestimated, underappreciated, and undervalued for far too long now by far too many people, by parents, by other industries, by bloody government, okay? And another category to add to that list soon, if we don't do a better job, is young people, the future of our industries, the future generations that we are trying to talk to. They are going to start believing all of those negative, outdated perceptions that the people around them are telling if we don't get to them quickly. And that is why we believe that our data is game-changing, because we think that our data is a key vital ingredient to be able to put creative careers back on the map. We see our data as enabling us to bypass all of those people that are giving young people negative perceptions, outdated perceptions of the creative industries, and we can start getting better at directly talking to them and giving them the correct message about what the creative industries is all about, how big we are, how many jobs that we have, how lucrative everything that we do is. Because we need to be taken seriously. We want to be taken as seriously as STEM, as healthcare, as aerospace, as automotive, as all those other serious career options. We deserve to be on that list. If we can put creative careers back on the map, and if we can make young people see them as an accessible option as well, that is very important. Young people have to see the creative industries as accessible to them. Then we can change the future of the UK creative industries forever. We can get schools championing creative careers. We can put creative subjects back on the curriculum. We can create a truly diverse creative workforce. We can reduce the number of NEET people, of unemployed people, and we can actually make the creative industries in the UK the powerhouse, the world-leading powerhouse that we all know that it can be. May, myself, the team, our advisors, our investors, all of the clients that we work with, all of the young people that use the app, they can all see the potential of what we're doing. The fact that you guys are here obviously shows that you guys are keen to also be part of that, so that's great. And if when you walked in you didn't believe that was the case, I hope to God that by the time you walk out you believe that we are the people to do the job. We can all use our data. The reason that we're sharing it is because it's important that we collectively get better at doing all of this stuff, at outreaching to young people. So we want to share that data, share all of this with you guys so that we can together enhance our offering to creative young people, to young people about the creative industries. We can build confidence within the sector, and we can spread awareness about what we do outside of the creative industries. So we do see this as more than a data set. We see this as the beginning of a movement for the creative industries, a much needed perception change, the perception change that we have all been waiting for. And I'm going to hand back over to May because she's going to tell you how you can get involved in this movement and how Eric might be able to help you action some of that stuff.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, so really quickly, we're going to end on how can Eric support you guys. So number one, please do tell every young person in your lives about Eric, whether it's your children, whether it's young people that you work with. It is completely free. So it's going to help every single young person. Number two is get a profile on the app and start promoting your opportunities on the app. We can help you reach your target audiences. It also means we can collect more data and then we'll share more insights. Number three is that we deliver a series of different talks for CPD and training, so a range of different Gen Z topics, so we can come in and talk to your teams. And then lastly, we have also an end-to-end consultancy arm where we can provide bespoke insights and data. And then I'm also, nicely kind of leads me on to introducing our next speaker, Leigh Adams, who is the ex-director of education and skills at the BFI. Leigh is a huge advocate, but we're partnering up with Leigh in the consultancy arm. So he's going to come tell us a bit more about that and a bit more about why he has chosen to partner with Eric.
I'll just never cope. I've got three things to hold. I'm never going to cope. Apologies. Morning, everybody. Great to see some faces who I met in my previous role as Director of Education, Skills and Training at the BFI. And I'd like to say that film and TV is the top all those lists and me. And bugger it, I'll take it, why not? But I did a lot of work over the last 5.5 years. First of all, my business is called Yecco Consulting, only because I couldn't think of a better name for consulting. I don't really want to be a consultant. I'm not ex-KPMG, I'm not PwC, I'm not an accountant. Although I'm dressing like a consultant, which is a bit dreadful. I need to sort that out. You need to sort that out. I worked in the industry for 27 years. I've spent working across the industry in education, training and skills. As I said, I haven't got an MBA, but I have learned at the coalface. I've been there, I've done it. I was a head teacher for 4 years in a secondary school. I've worked across a whole gambit of educational institutions, from really challenging situations to kind of outstanding Ofsted schools. And then I spent the last 5.5 years with the BFI. But I wanted to have a bigger impact. I wanted to go and do some stuff for myself. Your film and TV is the top now. I want to help everybody else. That's what we want to do. So today, my theme is Connected is Better. And the reason we're all here is because we all want to do something. We want to make things better for everybody. And I have to say, I'm the bearer of good and bad news. And I'll give you the bad news first. I hope this is going to work. Perfect. Fewer students, as has already been said, are taking creative subjects at school, which is impacting on further education, training courses, and ultimately career choices. Young people are starting to make decisions about their careers at the age of 12 and 13. I've got kids, both of them have been through year 8, and they're now taking GCSE choices in year 8, which is impacting their pathways going forward. So what we do, we've got to do early, we've got to do it better. Young people don't know the breadth of jobs available, and they don't know about getting a job. According to the Youth Voice Census 2023, fresh data out, only 12.4% of young people think quality opportunities are available locally. Now, I guess a lot of people in the room are London-based, We're quite fortunate here, metropolitan, we've got lots of big business. Those of you who are online for other areas, you won't be seeing the same types of opportunities. Only 1 in 3 children think that employers are supportive of hiring them, and just under half are confident they will progress into a good job. So actually, the young people are starting from a pretty low aspirational base. Recent research from the Prince's Trust stated only 47% of young people surveyed knew where to go for career support. So under half know where to go to get the advice. And interestingly, only 46% can't see past the next 6 months in their lives. They work in a very immediate, snappy, agile environment. So what you do, you've got to keep on doing. May talked about this, do more, do more. The OECD call it the pebble dash effect. The more you do, the more that sticks. You've got to keep doing that. We also know across our industries there's a skills shortage. What I've described previously is common across all industries, healthcare, construction, IT, hospitality, to name but a few. According to the Learning and Work Institute, the UK skills shortage will cost the country a whopping £120 billion by 2030. That's almost challenging AOS and his wealth. I was listening to that podcast on the way. It's really interesting, by the way. It's on BBC. It talks about how he became a billionaire. But his net worth, 200 billion. It's going to cost 120 billion. And there's going to be a shortfall, as was mentioned, of 2.5 million highly skilled workers. But I think more worryingly is there's going to be an oversupply of more than 8 million people with low skills who are going to be looking for jobs. Now that's a negative, but it's also a positive, because if we skill those people up, they can fill those jobs. According to the Open University employers' costs due to the skills shortages have increased by over 6 billion a year. And this is a devastating economic condition which will continue to hamper UK businesses until it's addressed by us. This view was highlighted by the government at the recent Skills for Growth conference that everybody else was there, where it suggested that without skills, businesses are driving with a handbrake on. They're simply not going to progress and grow. Now, let's look at the good news, because there is some good news. The UK creative industries are worth about 110 billion annually, roughly 6% of the UK economy. It's the fastest growing sector in UK economy and industry. It employs around 2.3 million workers directly and about 1.2 million workers in creative roles in other industries. And we've got to break this cycle of people thinking that creative jobs only exist in creative industries, because they don't. They're everywhere. I was talking to somebody from SAP, big tech firm, yesterday. They employ thousands of creative people to kind of support and get all their kind of tech out there. And Creative UK, I think you're online today, have recently announced the creation of 1 million new jobs through an investment fund by 2030, further fueling economic activity. The workforce of tomorrow is out there. They are keen, they're ready, they're willing. All the data shows this, and they're more capable than we can imagine. They want to feel motivated and excited, and they want to achieve. I personally believe there is a revolution on the way in this industry. But to do that, we need to invest. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive measures, including better careers and employment advice and guidance, more opportunities for young people to experience the workplace, and that is down to the employers and industry. We need to invest in and change the perspective of vocational and education, especially apprenticeships. Why the government didn't change the name of apprenticeships, I do not know, because it's just steeped in low academic history. And enhancing the attractiveness of industries facing workforce shortages. You've got to make yourself sexy. You've got to make yourself, a place where people want to go. However, recent research published by the Careers and Enterprise Company highlights a worrying disparity between industries' desire for new talent, so that's people who want people to come in and work for them, and their willingness to offer an entry-level opportunity. I was talking to a colleague in the higher education industry the other day, and he said he'd reached out to 25 businesses locally in the creative industries, and not one of them had even responded to say they couldn't come in. And this is a massive, massive problem. There are no quick wins here, and any future-facing work must be driven by and fully supported by education and industry, as well as being diverse, inclusive, and most importantly, sustainable. There's no point us doing kind of one-off, one-hit wonder things that aren't then carried on. We need to create a competitive advantage for ourselves in the creative industry and industry as a whole. So, how do we do it? I couldn't find a better picture to kind of describe name Sam. I don't know why.
Perfect.
I don't know why. But in my previous yet very recent life at the BFI, I was tasked with delivering the new 10-year education and career strategy. And I'm not a risk taker and always like to base my decisions on solid data, research and evidence. The problem comes when what you need isn't readily available or is veiled in secrecy. Then you need to rely on your gut. And as we know, your gut doesn't always serve you that well. One of my key challenges was finding a vehicle that would connect all the moving parts between schools, colleges, universities and industry. And then this is when I found Eric. Quite how I found them, I can't remember, but I'm so glad that I did. I immediately signed the BFI up and wanted to know more. I know it should have been the other way around, but I was just really excited. My inquisitive nature got the best of me and I kind of signed on the dotted line, paid them the fee and said, right, where do we go? The more I got to know about Sam and May, and importantly their motivations, the more convinced I became they were going to be great people to work with. So much so that I wanted to personally invest in Eric, and I was delighted when they asked me to become an advisor for them. We quickly found the all-important common ground and undertook joint research into the perceptions of careers advice and guidance across the screen industries. That advice, I don't know if it's on the Eric website, but it's definitely on the BFI website. Go and have a look at it. And we discovered that at best, advice and guidance offered to young people covering the creative industries was sketchy and ill-informed, and at worst, it really was non-existent. Such was the impact of this research, the findings were quoted by Gillian Keegan, no booze, during her opening speech at the Creative Coalition Festival earlier this year. Underpinning this research was Eric's unique and powerful data set, coupled with easy access to the 35,000 young people using their app every month. You literally cannot currently buy the intelligence they are offering, which will only get more insightful and impactful over time. Better data and research equals better understanding, better decision making, bigger impact, and reduces risk. So in August, I left the BFI. Big decision, nice job, great industry, but decided I wanted to do more. And I set up my business, Yecco, with the ambition to help close the current skills gap and reduce the skills shortage, which is crippling industry across the UK. And the first call, and I promise this is true, I'm not going to say this at another meeting, the first call I made was to Sam and May to see if there was anything that we could do together professionally. And as you may have guessed it, there was, which was great. And we've quickly forged a strong partnership working with educators, training industry, people just like yourselves, helping them better understand, connect with and position themselves within the elusive youth Gen Z market. I still don't like saying Z because it's a Z, but I'm going with it. By coming together, we've got a better understanding of the issues being faced and are able to openly thrash around ideas and new approaches to the engagement problem. So working in close partnership with Eric, Yecco can assist you. This is my sales bit, by the way. Just hold yourself on. We can help you in assisting in educating and attracting the talent of tomorrow by helping you devise a more inclusive, targeted engagement, recruitment and onboarding strategy, and in turn closing the current gap between education, training and industry. We design all our work around your specific needs. We don't have off-the-shelf solutions for you. We use a range of tools from surveys, targeted interviews, consumer panels, to establishing powerful youth advisory councils and boards. And I just want to kind of start cementing the process that you need to go through, and I will reveal all to you personally. But there are 5 key points to consider when thinking about reaching out and engaging with Gen Z. First of all, it's identifying who and what you need. It's demand-led. There's no point looking for something you don't need. So look inside your business and find out what is it that you need. Identify a business case for it. It's much easier to sell the people who write the checks. Secondly, get your colleagues on board and see the benefit, get them to see the benefit of the opportunity. The culture and the mindset needs to be right. Don't try and launch something if the people around you aren't supportive and people are going to come in and get a really bad experience. This type of process, and if there's anybody from HR here, I do apologise, often isn't best led by HR. Having total cross-business buy-in is essential. Actually, if you're in a production environment, something like that, get the production team to lead it. They're the people who need people. Next, finding suitable candidates in an ever-decreasing pool is tough. Utilising existing social media, platforms, networks, apps is absolutely critical. You're not going to go out on your own and instantly find all these wonderful people. They're out there, but you're going to have to kind of pull things together that are already out there. Next, deciding who to take on is also tricky. So you must have a robust method to equitably deal with potentially hundreds of applications. I was talking to SAP, big tech firm, just yesterday. They run 45 placements a year and they have 5,000 applications. You know when you advertise a job and you kind of get 10 applications, you think, God, that's a lot to get through. Imagine having to get through this. Imagine that you're going to get that level of response if there's good kind of opportunities there. So think about how you're going to ensure that the process is equitable and manageable. It's really interesting talking about lowering the barriers as well. I think Phoebe, you were talking about that, lowering those, and Amber talking about, I hate the fact you must have a 2-2 or 2-1 degree. What does that say to people? So if you haven't done an HE, a degree, you're not worth it. So actually, when I was at the BFI, I got rid of all in my jobs. I said, all I want is good people with some experience who are keen to learn, and actually it did me really well. Perhaps, and the final point on that, perhaps the biggest consideration needs to be around what happens when or after you've recruited early talent, either in a paid or unpaid position. The experience has to be beneficial for both parties. It's no point it being good for you and not for them, or good for them and not for you. And it needs to lead to something. It needs to lead to a job. Maybe it's a job with you, or a platform for the young person to launch themselves from into their future. But give them an out, give them an outcome, an impact. This is how this is going to help you to do it. So if you want to have a chat with me later on, come and find me. You can get me through Eric as well, not a problem. If you want to, there's a freebie there for you. If you want to scan that, it'd be great to see loads of phones up here. I've done just a really kind of brief guide to Gen Z, which you can download from my website. I think these slides are being sent around anyway, so you can get it from there. But hopefully it's just a kind of a real introduction to Gen Z, and some of the considerations you need to think about when you're trying to engage them. Do this for a second longer. And I said at the start, there's a revolution coming. I do believe that, and today seems like a pretty good day to start one. Congratulations to Eric on your 1 millionth data point. Just amazing. To get that much data in 12 months is fantastic. We will only change the world if we take responsibility right now. And remember, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. Thanks for listening to me. I did feel a bit like a pub band coming on after Taylor Swift, because Sam, May and the team are so fantastic. But hopefully what I've said has resonated with some of you, and I think I'm going to hand back now to Sam.
Yes, well, you Melissa, if you would like to come up and say some stuff about the Roundhouse works. Woo! Thank you, Melissa.
I don't know what that makes me, if you're the pub band. I just wanted to say a very quick welcome to Roundhouse Works, our brand new building. It's been open for 3 months. I'm sure many of you will know of the Roundhouse and our iconic venue. Who's been to the Roundhouse? Yes, and many of you, I'm sure, know about our youth charitable work, which happens underneath the main space of our venue, which for over 15 years we've been working with thousands, lots and lots of thousands probably, over the last 16 years for 11 up to 25-year-olds. And I see that work as being about access to creativity. And this new building almost tackles a lot of the problems you were saying, and we share a really similar vision and goal. And this new building is about access to industry, really bridging the gap between the work we do with our 11 to 25-year-olds and with the industry. So this new building is for 11 to 30-year-olds. On the first floor is all about professional development. So you are sitting in our triple height circus space. If you look up, you'll see specialized circus rigging. Behind you is a specialized free running wall. Please don't try it. We have mirrors. It's a really amazing state-of-the-art space. And downstairs is the home of the freelancing and entrepreneurship department, which I lead. We have a studio space, but we also have our brand new, one-of-a-kind co-working space with a development program. Now, I could talk about it, but we have a video which does it better. So bear with me. I think this will work. Oh, you did a nice slide for me and I missed it. Okay.
Hey, it's your girl Goldie here, and you're locked into Roundhouse Works Radio. Roundhouse Works is a new type of workspace, a space for all types of creatives, and we mean all. architects to artists, marketers to music managers, writers to web developers. And yes, you guessed it right, it's part of the iconic arts venue, Roundhouse. Are you tired of packed coffee shops, flaky internet, or having to shush your family while on a call? Well, we got you covered. Free hot drinks, fast Wi-Fi, phone booths, meeting rooms, printers, equipment hire, event space, one-to-one support, and of course, a dedicated team to help you achieve your goals. But more than just desk space and amenities, we have community. You'll be joining a cohort of next-gen creatives, and we'll make sure you connect and collab through social events, full access to our self-made series, support and advice on your creative business, and we even have wellbeing events like yoga and meditation. We know it's not easy, but we're here to support your journey. To qualify for membership, you must be aged 18 to 30 and be a creative freelancer or entrepreneur who's ready to take it to the next level. Membership starts from £30 per month and the workspace opens June. Sign up now to secure your place. Roundhouse Works, a space for you to create without limits.
So that's it from me. It's been many years in the making, so it's super exciting. I'll be around, so if anyone wants a tour of the new building and the workspace or wanted to chat about it further, let me know. And also outside, we've got a easel, and we're asking you to share advice for our young creatives, and we're going to go put that in our workspace. So thank you so much, and thank you to the Eric team. And that's it. Woo!
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, well, now you're free to go, guys. Woo! Okay, so we have got networking from now on. Also, Melissa and the team are going to be doing tours, remember that. So everyone stand up and let's get outside. We're going to chat to each other. Or you can leave if you want.